Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. I'm excited for tonight. I'm also really close to the camera right now. I'm like every kid in a Zoom meeting with their teacher. Actually, I'm trying to pin the video while you guys all arrive. I found it. Try to make it easy for everybody to find. So hello, welcome. Welcome to Sip and Draw. Oh, of course, my computer is going to be... Sorry, technical difficulties. How's everybody doing? Saturday night. It's like the closest we get to a party and a gathering. Oh my gosh, my computer hates me at the minute. I see lots of people watching. Can someone say hi so I know? There we go. Thank you. I needed a hello just so I knew that part was working. Nice. Welcome from San Bruno. Yes, I'm also excited for the Golden Girls. There we go. Whew. Now that that's done, I can move away from the camera. So, hi from Wheatland. Hi, Tracy. We made it another week. We hopefully, if we have kids, they're hopefully still alive. It was a better week for us this week, I gotta say. Hopefully you have your beverage. I have one here. I went with a vodka cranberry ginger ale. That's what I'm doing tonight. Tasty. Hello from Davis, Citrus Heights. Nice. We get people from all over the place. I'm sporting my Golden Girls shirt. Missouri. Love it. I love the people who stay up to do it. Hi. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about Golden Girls. I'm watching the comments as I'm so sorry. I know I'm looking down and talking. I also feel like I'm gonna sneeze. So excited to draw the Golden Girls. People, I may have mentioned this too when we did Bob Ross, though I made him really cartoony. People were always something that scared me. I drew everything, but don't give me people. And now I've really kind of embraced it because I think that with people, a lot of us, have you guys gone, I don't know, you're on Pier 39 or maybe you're at Disneyland or maybe I did one in Mexico and those caricature drawers draw you. And they never look exactly like you. In fact, sometimes they might look like the person who was sitting there before you, but they pick up enough. I always end up with full lips. I always end up with dark eyes. So I really think that when you're drawing people, you're just trying to capture their essence. So it's never, especially with cartoon, it's never going to be spot on, but it's really just about capturing that person. So that's what we're doing tonight with the Golden Girls because we are doing faces. In fact, that's all we're doing. We're just drawing their faces. So yes, it can be very intimidating. And I originally was going to challenge you guys. I know I've talked about doing a night where we just do pen only. This is not the night for that. I probably would shut the video down if I drew people in pen only. It can't happen. Okay, we are also going to play a game. Yes, I did that's what I started doing. Sorry, I'm reading a comment. I started drawing people I knew. So I started drawing caricatures of people I knew. And it just, yeah, you kind of have fun with it. Now I do them a lot. So we're having a game. We're playing a game tonight. We'll do our normal drinking thing. I haven't established a word. We'll think on that. Maybe a race will be a good one because I'm going to do that 50 million times. But yes, we're playing a game. So what you need to do for the game, there's no card or bingo or anything like that because I can't issue bingo cards to right now 165 people are watching. So you're going to write on a sheet of paper 1 through 12. If you want to play the game, you need to have something that you can write on, and you're writing 1 through 12. I'm going to say a quote. I'm going to tell you when I'm saying the quote. So I'm going to say a quote, and when I say the quote, you're going to write down who said that quote. Not me, but which Golden Girl. So you write down the name of which Golden Girl said the quote, and then once I've said all 12, once I say, okay, number 12, and I say the 12th quote, and you write down your answer, you need to share your answers. So you're either going to type that really fast in a comment, you're going to snap a photo of it and send it in a comment. The first person to comment with all 12 correctly wins. Okay? It's a little tricky. I think you guys can do it. Yeah, let's hope. By the time at that point we'll be drunk, so I probably won't even get the answers right. Okay, so are you guys ready? Let's see what we're drawing this evening. I'm gonna flip you guys around. I'm not getting any lag on my end, so if I see lag, I usually will announce it. So if you're getting lag, you might want to try going out and then coming back in, like shut the whole thing down and then restart it. So there you go. Okay. Sometimes it's neighborhoods. Like on Friday, all of West Sac pretty much lost internet. Okay, let's flip you around. So here we go. Golden Girls. I know, I can't switch you to the other. So here we go. There they all are. We have Blanche. We have Dorothy. We have Rose. We have Sophia. So again, capturing their essence, capturing a little bit of scale. Dorothy was always very tall, so I made her taller than all the others. That might not work out that way when I draw them again. Rose was always so kind of, bubbly, always has that, in general, she always has that youthfulness. Sophia was always so tiny and dinky, so I kind of made her smaller than all the others. And then Blanche, she is our inner wild child. I will say when I was coloring, so I got my new pencils and I had a lot of fun with them, but I went crazy on her blush. So I'm going to take it a little lighter on that. But that's our Golden Girls, and then I did Stay Golden. So that's what we're drawing this evening. The Golden Girls, we're going to go one face at a time. Yep, Dorothy's crooked mouth. She's always kind of looking like a smart ass with her raised eyebrows. So that's how we're doing it. So I'll focus on one face at a time. If you want me to zoom in, I can. I actually might draw, each shape of the face and then go back to each one and add the detail, but we'll figure that part out. So there are our Golden Girls. Now remember, you can play around with eyes and nose and mouths. You can make them more cartoony, but you're just kind of capturing, again, the essence of them. If you saw this without this saying, you would know who that was if you knew the Golden Girls. The big oversized glasses. Okay, so here we go. I know, they all had, when I was going through the quotes for tonight, I was like cracking myself up just reading some of the things they said. So let's get started on that, how about I give you a quote? Now, you're not going to write your answer down in the chat, remember. You're sharing it at the very end. Once I've said all 12, then you share it. So don't call it out at the start. Once I've said all 12. So our first quote tonight is, "Let me tell you a story." That's number 1. Let me tell you a story. This looks hard. It is hard, but sometimes you have to challenge yourself. So to get started, I know you can't see all of my paper, but I'm going to find what I think is about the middle of my paper, and I'm going to put a faint line. I'm going to divide it up into 4 sections so I make sure I have room for their faces. Because the most frustrating thing would be to get 3 faces on and then to not be able to fit one. I've done that enough times to now kind of map it out. So once you have a line, now you're going to draw another line in the middle of these 2 sections. So let's say it's right about there. So now I have spot 1, spot 2, and now I'll come over here, and there's about my middle. So now I have a home for each Golden Girl face. Okay? So now let's get started on the first face. And I think we'll go with our drinking word being erase. Erase. That'll be our word tonight. So for Blanche, sorry, I had a name pause there for a second. I'm going to do a face that's more oval. So come down, give her a little bit of a chin, and then I'm going to come back from here and go back around. And I just made her face really egg-shaped, kind of like an egg. But again, I'm probably going to erase things a million times. And once I put her hair in, she won't look so egg-like. Okay, so that's step 1, is get a face shape on the page. Step 2, I'm going to put in her hair. So her hair was short, and I'm going to start a line a little more off to the side and sweep it across the face. And then I'll build another one off of that, and another off of that. And I'm coming outside of the face with those lines. And then from this side, I'm just going to come down. And this line here, I'm going to bring it up, follow the line of her head, that inside line I made, and connect it to this line here. Already erasing. And then now this is going to become bigger. So I'm going to build off of this hairline and bring it till I meet that. And now once I have that, I can erase this top of the headline I originally made. And sometimes I erase things at the end, but things like that, I tend to erase them during, because they'll confuse me. Like if there's too many lines I want off the page, they'll confuse me. Now, I need to complete her hair because it shouldn't just end in this bouffant here. So I'm going to do a little line coming down so it matches up about where this one does. and then a line coming up. And then I will erase that. Small sips, people, small sips. So now we have the general look of her hair. Now I might tweak this and bring this out a little bit more so it's not looking so flat on that side. And then erase. So there we go. That's her hair. And you can add more kind of hair lines in here. I usually will do that kind of thing once I am actually working in the pen. I'll put some detail line work inside of there. So step one, you have her face and you have her hair. And now we need to add her ears. So her ears, some of her ear is going to be behind her hair. I'm going to come off of this hairline and bring an earlobe in on the side. Same thing on the other side. Come in or come out and bring an earlobe over there. And see, I'm going to even widen this a little bit more because I want her to have some pretty decent lobe shape because I want to give her really big earrings. My Blanche looks like a pork bun. I love it. And no worries if you're not drinking. No worries if you're not drawing. I already hate this ear. I'm going to make it longer. Doesn't match my other side. If you're just hanging out and watching, that's cool too. We are drawing all of them. All four. We're starting with Blanche. And let me give you another quote. Here is quote number 2. Quote number 2. It's like life is a giant weenie roast. There is quote number 2. Now, for her earrings, I'm going to do squares. So a square is going to fill up, see that? The whole earlobe at the bottom. Same on the other side, a square in the earlobe. And from that square is going to be a big circle going in towards the face. Coming out and going in towards the face. Make that one a little bigger. I'm drinking but not driving. I would hope so. And now inside of that circle, I'm going to draw another kind of an oval. Now you can have the earrings come into her face if you want. If you don't like them kind of hidden behind, you could draw them going into her face and then just erase. Actually, I think I like that better even myself. So I'm going to draw them coming in to her face and then draw the circle and then erase the line from her face that was going into the earring. So see, now she has her earrings. Okay, I'm going to put her nose in first. So I'm just going to do kind of a swooping line coming down that curves back around. Do you need me to draw darker? Is that hard for you guys to see? I tend to go so light when I'm doing faces just because I know I'm going to erase a lot, but I'll make it a little darker for you guys. So this little swooping line, And then on this side, I'm going to put a little curve. And on this side, I'm going to put a little curve. And those are the sides of her nose. This one's too big. I want it closer to her nose. There we go. I also need a less squeaky chair. These are the things I notice when I'm trying to draw and be quiet for you guys. Is all the background noise. So there we have her nose. We have a swooping line, tiny little line on one side, tiny little line on the other. If you feel like you've made her nose too big, too wide, you just need to bring these little lines closer to your center line. Now for the mouth, I'm going to do kind of that heart-shaped upper lip. So you're doing that curved heart shape and then bringing the line out. And then you can, from these corners, you can come down and up. Oh, you're welcome. I know sometimes it's helpful to see it closer. We're drawing Blanche. Yours looks like Jay Leno. Just cut a little off the chin. Cut a little off the chin. You know, Dorothy has a really strong chin. So Dorothy, I feel like I struggled with a little bit because I kept thinking, am I giving her like a Leno chin? So just remember, you can always erase a little off the chin. And cheers. Now for her mouth, I'm going to put a line. She really didn't have very thick lips. So I'm going to put a line that actually touches, connects from corner to corner and touches that point of the heart. And I'll zoom in on that in just a second. And then I'm going to draw a little half circle inside. So her mouth is just slightly open. Okay, so this is her bottom lip. This is her top lip, and this is the little opening inside of her mouth, which I'll just leave white as if you're seeing her teeth. And I'm going to erase this little, I have kind of a funky line in my chin too. Now for the eyes, I'm going to do a line. Remember, small sips. So I'm going to do a line starting a little bit out from her nose. I want to have room for eyebrows. One of them you'll see more than the other. And I'm just going to do a curved line that comes up and then really flares out. Because I'm going to give her a heavier eyeliner and a heavier lash. Blanche was always really like done up. And she's a cartoon. I'm drawing a cartoon version of her. So I'm going to do her up even more than she normally would have been. That's kind of the fun in cartoons, is you really play up some of their features. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. To line up the eyes, just put your pencil around where this eye started, jump on the other side of your nose, and then you have your starting point. Curve up and flare it out. So see, those look about the same height and the same length. They're both going just almost to just inside the edge of her face. Now the bottom part of the eye is going to be a curved line, but it's not going to come all the way out to this point. It's going to actually come right about where this line is coming down before it curves back out. So I'm going to do that. So see, now she has that winged, it's kind of a winged liner is what we're doing. And then you'll do the same on the other side. Curve line down and bring it to that point right where it starts to really wing out. Inside her eye, I'll do a curved line right here across the front corner, and another one right here on this side corner. Same on both sides. One there, one there. Just giving space for the white of her eye. I don't know. It's really, I don't know. That's so hard. I actually really did love Blanche because I think at her time she was so, the way her character was written, she was just like, I don't know, she wasn't afraid of her sexuality. I really loved that. When you watch it now, it's like, wow, that's awesome that they did that. Now inside this eye, I'm going to do another curve coming around there, and then one over here. This one I made a little big, so I'm going to cut that a little bit. Same here. And then inside of this is where you'll do the little circle of light up at the top. Now, I will tell you, eyes, features, they look funny in pencil because you don't have the pupil colored in, things like that. So when you're looking at this, these little corners are the whites of my eyes. This right here is where the color will be, and this is where the black will be. This one looks a little more muddled just because I've made some adjusted lines. So I have, this is the white, this is the, wait, this is the, yeah, this is the pupil, this is the color, this is the white. And on this eye, I'm going to make that pupil a little bit smaller. And I'm going to give her lashes that will kind of match up with that little curved out edge, which is like the first lash line. And I'm going to give her little lashes on the bottom too. And I just go about halfway. Just like that. I need to give her little lines in her cheeks so she looks like she's got a smile on her face, and just to do a little bit of facial marking. And then her eyebrow, it's going to follow the shape of her upper eye. So I'm going to do a little line, follow the shape of her eye, and then up at the top until it meets into a smaller point. And I'll zoom in on that. This one might touch her hair. Yeah, it's going to. So see, this one is showing in full. This one is partially hidden by their hair. There isn't a way for me to zoom or be closer. I can draw it and then pull you closer, but I can't get my phone. If I put my phone that close, my hand will block it and I will create a huge shadow on the page. I can try, let me come up one click and see how that looks. There we go. That's a little bit closer. Now her face is pretty much done. Any other little details I want to make, some like decorating within her hair, I'm going to do all that once she's outlined. But I have the general look of her at this point. And let's give you another quote. Your third quote is, when I say jump, you say on who? When I say jump, you say on who? Quote number 3. Okay, now we're going to move on to Dorothy. I will always keep 2 on the screen, so you'll still have Blanche here to see while I start working on Dorothy, so you can still look at her. And then once I'm done with Dorothy, you'll have Dorothy and Rose, and so on. Now, I'm going to make, again, Dorothy was tall, and she had a very pointy, long face with a more like pronounced chin. So I'm going to do another kind of egg shape. But that egg shape, and I like to start with the full head, even though I'm going to add hair and change it later. I'm trying to get that shape right. So she will have a pointier face. Than Blanche did. It'll be longer, because then once her hair is on, she'll be even taller. But I'm going to do one more step to really accentuate that chin. So right here, where her chin is, I'm going to add another little half circle. Just like that. And then you can erase that first face line. And that way she gets that more pronounced chin, that longer jawline, longer face. Now her hair, I'm going to do more of a center part. So I'm going to start right about here and just draw a slightly wavy line out to the side of her head. And then another one on the other side, out the side of her head. And now her hair, I will just keep that wavy line going up and around. She's almost going to look like she has kind of an afro. But once we start coloring that, it'll slim it out. You'll see the shape more. Make that a little bit smaller so it matches the other side. So I'm going to erase. I swear, this is why Bob Ross taught people how to draw trees, because drawing faces is like tricky, and then teaching people how to draw it is even trickier. See, I'm like making one smaller and making one bigger, just trying to get them to match up a little bit more on each side. And once I have it how I want it, I'll erase that headline because it looks silly in the middle there. And I'll add a little line here and then a couple little curved lines within the hair, just so it shows that it's kind of sweeping up. And again, I'll do more of that decorating. Mine looks like an acorn too. Like if you just cut that across, if you hung that across, it'd look like an acorn. I have not. I didn't even know that was a thing. The drawing thing that you just recommended. Now for her ears, same thing. A lot of her ear is going to live inside of her hair. So I'm just doing a line coming down. Let's line this up better on this side. So this one I'm going to start at the bottom and go up. So basically, I made this one first, and then I used that line as a guide, came through my face, and then picked up on the other side. It does kind of look like a shower cap. It really will. And then I gave her earrings that were triangles. So I'm just going to draw triangles off the tip of each earlobe. And these little lines that are inside, I'll erase those after I put my pen in. Now, her eyebrows are a huge feature for her. So I want to actually start with those because I might actually end up like taking my hair in a little bit. In fact, I already feel like I know I'm going to, just to make room for that high arch brow. So to start with, I just did almost like, think of like Cruella de Vil. I did this kind of line that just arched up real dramatically and then comes down and curls out. And then same on the other side. I'm going to arch up dramatically, come down and curve out. I'm going to move this one over. Just moving this one a little bit. So I'll tell you again, you're doing that high arch, curve around and curl out. Now to finish this brow, this is actually going to be the bottom line. So you're going to do a little line coming up off this end, and I'll zoom in on this afterwards. And you're going to bring this up and connect it kind of up here at the top, and then it'll stay thin. So see how I did that? I went up a little, follow that line, but you're not bringing it all the way down. It's going to be really thin towards this outside. Same on the other side, kind of doing a little angled line. My line is angled about like that. So it's not straight up and down, it's angled. And then follow the curve of the brow and end it up here at the top. And see, I like this one better. Like this one's super clean. This one's a little bit wonky. But when I go through this in pen, I'll fix that. I'll tweak that just a little bit. And let's give you a quote. Give you a quote while you have a moment. So my next quote is, "Suddenly, 40 is young." This is quote number 4. Suddenly, 40 is young. Quote number 4. Now with her eyes aren't up in her brow at all. They're down below. So you're just doing a curved line up and down. And then the same shape on the bottom. Make that a little bit more narrow. And then same over here, curving up and down, and then repeat that on the bottom. They're kind of seed shaped. So her eyes are going to be a little smaller than what we did for Blanche. But same thing in both corners of the eyes. You're going to put a little line to start the inner part of the eye. So a line in each corner. And then starting from the top, a curved line inside of that. And then a little circle of light inside of that shape. And there's her eyes. See, same. I'm having good luck with the left side of her face, and the right side of her face to me just keeps coming out wonky. But you know what? I'm going to leave it. Because if I sat here and erased all night long to try to get it perfect, we'll be here for 5 hours. Sometimes you just have to go with it and know that once you put it in pen and once you color it in, it's going to fix some of those things that look funny to you right now. Now her nose I'm keeping really simple. I'm doing a little tiny, almost curved V, so it looks more pointy. And then one little line to the right and one little line to the left. And again, I know that looks super funny at this point. But it will be really fun to see your drawings. Are the circle of lights in the eye not supposed to be in the same? Okay, so they kind of are, and this is the thing with circle of lights. Let me give you a little quickie. Okay, let's say I have an eye. Here's a pair of eyes. Here's a pair of eyes. Here's a pair of eyes. And I do the inside of the eye. And then I do the inner part, the pupil. Okay, so let's say I do this. If I put the little circle of light kind of off to the side a bit in both eyes, they look like they're looking straight. So if I have this one a little bit off to the right, this one a little bit off to the left, it'll give the eye the appearance that it's looking right straight. Same thing if I put it right in the middle, but that would kind of look funny because the pupil is technically right in the middle. Now if I put one here and I put one here, now it looks like the eye is looking this way. If I flipped that and put it this corner to this and this corner, it would look like the eye is looking this way. If I put them both in the bottom corner, now it looks like it's looking down and in. And then you could also, you know, put one in this down corner and one up here. And now it looks like it's like wandering eyes. So where you put those circle of lights, it is kind of important because where you move them to, like you can see, this looks like this eye is looking this way now. This looks like it's looking this way. This one looks like it's wonky, like looking up, looking down. It's got a wandering thing going on. So, quick little eye tutorial. Okay, back at it here with Dorothy. So for that smirk smile she has, I'm still doing that curved kind of heart shape, but I'm kind of doing it. If it makes you feel better, tilt your paper even when you do it. So I'm doing it more up and then up and with an extension. So see, it looks like I made the lips crooked, but I didn't. It's just giving that turned up smile. And then you connect this here. And then you drop a little bottom lip on it down here. And then I'll give her little cheek lines. And because her cheek lines are straighter, they're straight more like this, it just accentuates that smirk. Where hers had that curve and it really gives it that smile look. And that is our Dorothy. And again, we can tweak her a bit once I put her in pen, but she's pretty good. This side is a little bit messier than this side. And let's give you another quote. So quote number 5. Are you ready? Quote number 5. Me, I just drink whatever is in the glass. Me, I just drink whatever's in the glass. Yeah, always ask me. I mean, I don't think about those things sometimes. I show you, but then, yeah, just ask me if you have do you have any tips for doing this part? I'm happy to try to break it down with you. But yeah, those little circles of light, they kind of give you direction within the eye. D is looking a bit masculine. Dorothy did kind of look a little bit masculine, though, I think. When I was even going through looking at all the pictures of them today, because I was just flooding myself with pictures while I was coloring them in. She has a slight manliness to her. She even wore those really boxy suits, and she was so tall. I'm making Carmack the Magnificent. See, I'm so excited for this just because I struggled with faces for so long, and I'm by no means an expert, but I can do a pretty decent caricature. So I'm really excited to see what you guys have going on. And someone asked again what I'm drinking. I think I'm drinking vodka with cranberry ginger ale. Lots of geometric. That's why I gave her the triangle earrings. See? And let's give you one last quote here. Quote number 6. No, I will not have a nice day. I've wanted to say that a couple times during quarantine. No, I will not have a nice day. Quote number 6. This is intense. Just drink more. Just drink more. Does anyone have their kids with us tonight drawing? Just kind of chatting a bit, giving you guys some time to catch up, get your faces in. Are any of the kiddos trying to draw the faces? I had a really funny instance on Friday. I don't know if any of you parents were here, but one of you maybe, whose child sometimes draws with us, with me during the week, she said that she joins the sip and draws with her mom. She said, I do the sip and draws with my mom. And I said, oh, good, that's fun. I'm glad you joined us. And she said, yeah, so I know your gross side. Or I get to see you when you're gross. So if that's your daughter, it was pretty funny. It made me laugh. I gave up already. Okay, let's move on to Rose. I think Rose is a little more simple. I gave her just a pretty much round face. I may have turned this into the Beatles. Oh, Shane. Of course you did. Okay, so I'm going to give Rose a round face. So I'm just going to draw a circle in this shape, in this space that I've given myself to fit her in. Mine looks more like a gypsy. Oh, don't give up. I mean, how bad can it be? Just roll with it. Laugh at it. Finish it off and then laugh at it at the end. Like, if anything else, I think that's kind of like the funnest part. That's what I would do when I started on faces. I'm going back and giving Dorothy a couple little lashes, by the way. I realized I missed that, but I'm only doing them on the top. Okay, so now that we have Rose, we're going to give her hair. I just gave her kind of a bob looking hair. So I'm going to do a little curved line to a point, bring it up, and then another point, bring it up. So those are like the little bangs. Jay Leno in drag. And yes, also, you know, that's the thing too, is like when you're looking at them, I can sometimes look at them in pencil and I think, oh my gosh, this is horrid. But once I outline it and once I color it in, the coloring really brings out the character. So my recommendation is don't give up. Even if it comes out awful, you can laugh at it at the end. Okay, I started this little bang here. I'm going to put her ears in because for her, I'm going to show her whole ear. I'm going to have her hair going behind her ears. So I'm just going to do these little ear hot dog shapes, if you want to call them, off to the sides of the head. Okay, so those are her ears. And now this hair I can finish now, and it's going to sweep around and come into her ear. And on this side, same thing. I'm going to pick it up right about here and just sweep it down to her ear. Now, lining up a little bit with where this kind of bang sweep is, I'm going to start the top, the outside part of her hair, and I'm just going to follow the curve. I'll go in a little bit and come back out. No one's hair just follows a perfectly straight line. Come back out, go in a little bit, back out, and then back into her head. Yes, there are no grades. No grades. I love seeing your drawings. And I don't know. I think they're all good. I never look at anybody's and think that you did awful. Now, same on the other side. I'm going to just kind of come out, go in a little, come out, go in, out, and then sweep it around into the face. There. And there's her hair. And now I can erase this line that's running through her hair. So now I have the face, ears, and the hair in. And just even her hair out a little bit on these sides. So take that side a little bit shorter. And of course, erase. Cheers. And let's give you a quote. Quote number 7. Go to sleep, sweetheart. Pray for brains. Go to sleep, sweetheart. Pray for brains. Okay. I am giving her really big eyes. So I'm going to start on the outside of the eye, and I'm going to curve it around and then come back. I'm basically drawing a big teardrop. So she's going to have big blue eyes. Moving this one over. Big eyes. Oh, don't give the answers. You got to wait till you have 12. Wait till you have all 12. I do have 12. Okay. Now inside her eye, same thing. I'm going to put a little line in this corner. And just the tiniest line on this inside. Just like that. It's okay, Holly. You can blame it on the alcohol. I will give inside of this, in the center, I'm going to do a circle. In both of them. And then inside of those, I'm going to do the little circles of light. So she will have a little bit of white. She'll have very blue eyes and then the black with the circles of light. And I'm going to give her some lashes. A simple brow, so a little tiny line. And come out to a point. And then follow it up above. This one will go into the hair. Kind of ran right along the hair. The goose got her feeling loose. Quote number 8. Quote number 8. I did give Dorothy a couple little lashes. I went back and gave her some. So quote number 8. That child over there is trying to steal my daddy away. Quote number 8. That child over there is trying to steal my daddy away. Your Rose has ET eyes. I think the eyes on Rose too, they look really funny right here. They will look cuter once they're colored blue. They'll give her those really big blue eyes. Now with her nose, I'm going to do a slight curved line that's going to start up here by her eye and just kind of come down into her face. Zoom. Just like that. I'm going to do a little curve, kind of lining up with this curve that came down but not connected to it. I'm going to do a little curve, a little one in the middle, and then a little one off to the side. Just like that. There's her nose. And a simple piece, let's do circles on the ends of her ears for her pearl earrings. My light just got really dark right there, I feel like. There we go. And that same heart-shaped mouth, but with a real curved up top lip. So you do that heart shape and then really curve it up. And then you can connect these two with a line and then put in a little bottom lip. So her lips are closed. Your noses are looking good. I love it. And then I'm going to do little curves on her cheeks going in to give her like a little bit of cheek dimension. Those will make more sense once I start coloring and I shade some blush in. And then of course you will have a couple little lines through the hair. Good. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're having fun, whether you're drawing or you're just kind of hanging out and watching. Yours looks like she got into a fight. That's how I felt like when I was drawing Blanche. When I gave her those cheeks, I thought, oh my gosh, it looks like she has bruises on her face. And let's give you another quote. Quote number 9. Pretty women go shopping. Pretty women go shopping. Pretty women go shopping. All right, there's our rose. Last, we will move on to Sophia. How's everybody doing? Where are you guys all at? Are you feeling? Are there any? That's okay. I didn't think you were mad. Are there any spots you want me to go over again? Anything you want me to show again? Kind of looks like Lizzie McGuire. I could see that. I think the rose looks young and youthful, but that's kind of how she looked. And I mean, yeah, she's still going strong and looks young and youthful. Faces are hard. Dorothy's lips. Okay, this is more tough tonight. Okay, Dorothy's lips. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so typically, yeah, if you drink more, you will think your art looks amazing. So typically, I'm doing this heart-shaped mouth, and I'm doing it straight up. Okay, so this is the typical lip. Now, if I'm doing it smirking, I'm drawing it at an angle. So you could even put an angle. Draw a line on the piece of your paper. And then on that line, you draw the heart. But one side has a longer arm, a longer arm. The lip has an arm. One side has a longer line, okay? So we're here, they're even. This one, the lip has a longer line on this side. Don't give your answers yet. We have 2 more. 12 total. You guys are killing me. 12 total quotes. You've got actually more, yeah. You should only have, doesn't everybody have 9 at this point? 9 Pretty Women Go Shopping was the last one. 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. Okay, now the bottom lip stays short. So the bottom stays short, the top stays long, but it kind of connects. And now it's like a side smirk. That's really dramatic. I probably would make it a little less dramatic. And then you just do these little tiny lines on each side and it gives that smirk look to it. So that's what Dorothy's lips are. So standard lip, straight across, smirk lip up, and you're doing a little bit longer line on one side. 9. Okay, good. Okay, let's move on to Rose. No, to, sorry, Sophia. See, now I'm all confused. To Sophia. So Sophia, I made her face the smallest, again, just to kind of play with the scale of them. So I'm going to kind of throw in an oval-shaped face in this space. See, I'm having a hard time myself with I say an oval and then I draw like partially a circle, or I make it like a big egg. There, that works. So you're giving her that oval shape. And now for her, the biggest feature of her is those glasses. So that's where I'm going to start, because everything's going to be built around Sophia's glasses. Okay. So inside of this shape, you can do a little tiny line for the bridge of the nose. And then you're going to do these big oversized glasses. You can do them a little more square. You can do them a little more round. When you look at drawings of her, they are all different sizes. I think if you look at her actual glasses, they tend to be a little more squared, like curved edge squares. But I'm just drawing these big, giant shapes. Now, this is a one where you're probably going to erase a bunch because you want these two shapes to kind of look alike. So you can play around with where these end by coming over, like here's where it is. So over here, it should end about there. Here's where this one ends. So that should be about there. Just put these little guidelines in. But I know I will draw it and then I will look at them and go, those don't look anything alike. At a certain point, I will have to let it go and I will have to just leave what I have on the paper, because this is one of those things that I can drive myself crazy drawing these types of shapes and trying to mirror them to match the other side. So I'm going to just kind of go like that, and I'm going to call that good. And then I'm going to erase all of the lines inside, the face lines, any of the weird lines I may have made. I'm probably going to end up erasing some of the frame, and then I'll just put it back in. So basically at this point, you look like you have an egg with glasses on. That's what it should kind of look like. Once you have that frame shape, you need to actually make them a frame. So you're going to come inside of that line you made, and you're going to put another line down that follows that shape and makes the actual frame. And also kind of stays consistent in size which, you know, again, you might erase it a couple times. In some places, it's going to look like the lines touch, and that's okay, because when I actually go in and pen, a lot of that will change. Like this one I think is too thick on this side. So when I come in and pen, I'm just going to cut that a little shorter. It makes no sense to try to do it in pencil right now. Now, from the side of her glasses, you're going to put just a little tiny bit of her ear, and I'll zoom in on this. So there you go, just like that. You have the glasses with the frame, and then you have this tiny little bit of ear. Tiny little bit. And now we'll put in her hair. And her hair, you're going to start a line from the side of the glasses that's going to just kind of meet up with that ear you made. And you're just kind of doing wavy line. Again, it's going to kind of look like a fro at first. This little wavy rough line that comes down to the other side. And then once you have that, you can erase this, which is a line that looks really silly at this point anyway. So it looks a little more normal once you take that out. Franklin the turtle. It's Franklin. Oh my God, we watched so much of that when my kid was little. That makes me laugh. Franklin the turtle. Okay, let's do a little bit of bang. So just this, I'm just going to do these little tiny rough triangles kind of coming down. And then I'm just going to do, again, a rough hairline that goes down to the edge of the glasses. Just like that. Edna mode. Yep. I mean, that's kind of what she just really does have. There's some actually really hilarious drawings of, well, not only just her, there's some hilarious drawings of the Golden Girls. So I'll show you guys this. I did a private class today, tonight for someone's birthday. And, you know, when you do a private class, you get to pick what you want to draw. And the guy wanted to draw Golden Girls. And I said, well, you know, I'm doing this was before I had announced the sip and draw. I said, well, you know, I'm doing Golden Girls for the sip and draw. Do you want to just do that? No, I want to do private. And, you know, can we just do Sophia? So here was Sophia from earlier. Totally different style of drawing, way more cartoony, but that was our Sophia from earlier, and it definitely has an ET vibe. But again, those big, huge, oversized glasses. And it was really fun. They came out really cute. There were lots of fun versions. Okay, her nose. Just a tiny little nose that comes down and around from the glasses. We're just giving her a simple little curve for her nose. And for her mouth, we're going to do the same kind of thing, that kind of heart-shaped lip, but it's going to be really small and tight. More puckery looking, I guess I'd say. Let me get it down and then I'll kind of show you. So just a little small mouth. Yeah, it was pretty fun and he was super excited. It was on a Zoom. He's a huge Golden Girls fan and he had all of these backgrounds that were Golden Girls. It was really great. Those private draws are a good time. Now I'm going to do the curves on her face too, but I'm going to put 2 of them. She's going to get more lines on her face. Like Elton John. I like that too. And a similar eye to Dorothy. So just curved up and then curved down. Curved up and then curved down. Those already look funky. I might put this one a little closer. That one looks like it's in like a weird spot. There we go. That works. I'm also going to add, because her frames are so big, I'm going to add a little bit of her hair on the inside here. So see how her hair just kind of ends up here? I'm going to have it kind of come down into the frame because you would be able to see that through glasses. I'll zoom, sorry, just like that. See how I'm doing a little bit of hair on the inside of the glasses. And let's give you a quote. Quote number 10. Now remember, there's 12, so you have 2 more. Quote number 10 is, "It's like we say in St. Olaf." Quote number 10. It's like we say in St. Olaf. Okay, for her eyes, I'm going to do a circle coming down inside from the top. Same on the other side. And then another smaller circle inside that. Same on the other side. And then another little circle of light in there. Now, if that space gets tight, just do it with your pen. Just don't color that little, leave a little tiny white dot. I'm going to have her hair come down a little more too. It's kind of bothering me how big of her forehead she has. So I'm just bringing her hair down, that hairline. And I'll add lots of little like curved lines in her hair just to give it that curly look. Now above her eye, I'm going to draw a lid line. So it's just a line that follows the curve of her eye. And then a tiny bit of lashes on the top, just maybe 3 little lashes. I'm going to add a couple lines on her face here by her eyes. 3 little dash lines. I'm also going to add them on her forehead, like 2 little lines right there. And then I need to give her an eyebrow, and her eyebrow is going to be partially hidden by her glasses. So it's actually going to come down from the inside of her glasses and then just kind of point and go in. So see I feel you on the Kim Jong. I'm seeing it myself. But once you color, I think you'll change that. And then same on the other side, that little brow coming down and then going back up. And I'm going to make her face too just a little bit more pointed down here, so her face isn't so round. I like that a little better. A little more narrow. I'll change the look of her too. Sometimes you just have to kind of play with that. You'll put a standard shape down and then you just kind of play with the shape of the chin, the narrowness of the face. She always looks so tiny, so I try to make her look more petite. Sophia's supposed to be Asian. And then, no, she's supposed to be what, Italian? Sicily? Because she always said something about Sicily. That is not a quote, by the way. And then let's, from the side of her glasses, you're going to just make a curved line that comes down. If she had a neck and a body, this would go behind her neck. So I'm just having it stop on each side. And that's her the little thing that holds her glasses on. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can make this a chain. You can do a bunch of little circles, like that beaded look. I'm going to be fancy tonight, and I'm actually going to use 2 different size pens for the outline. I'm going to use my standard 08 pen for like the hair, the lips, but when I start doing that fine detail work, the lines on the face, the eyes, I'm going to use an 05. So there's my little Sophia. Quote number 11. You're old. You sag. You get over it. There's your quote number 11. So I have a Micron 08. That's what I'm using for a good portion of my outline. But when I do a lot of the face work, I'm going to go in with a Micron 05. So I'm just going to keep going here with Sophia. And again, just kind of roughly putting the hair so it gives a look of being wavy. Same here. Just has that waviness to it. Curly. A little bit down inside the glasses. I'll do this line, her little ear. Go ahead and put this lower face. The lips. These little cheeks. And the nose. And now for the inside of her face and her glasses, I'm going to use this skinnier pen just because they're more fine lines. And I want to try to make sure I don't touch like the outside of the frame to the inside of the frame. So I'm going to do that thinner. And her little brow coming down. And sometimes when I'm going on top of the pencil with a pen this thin, it doesn't look that much different than the pencil. But once it actually gets colored, you'll see, or once it gets erased, I'm sorry, you'll see the difference. A little line above her eye. Let's put her pupil in. So you're just leaving a little circle there. And then I'll put the rest of her eye. If you're right-handed, yes. So I am right-handed. If your pens smudge, I would start to the left and move right. Yes, I would do that. You can also do a trick that my mom showed me during a drawing, or mentioned during a drawing this week. I talk a lot about, being careful of like smudging your work and dragging your hand. And so to do that, just hold a piece of paper over, like if you did her first, you hold a piece of paper over her and now do this one. So that way you're not constantly running your hand on what you've just done. And that will help. Just another way. Tips from Stacy's mom. That pupil, and then that little inside of the eye, and then just a little line. Some little face lines. Now, technically, because I made her face more narrow, you would actually see her face come up into the glasses. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add her face line in here. Here's sleepy mom. I know my mom's still here. So see, that fixed her face a lot because you would see, she is here. Linda Severson Adams, the one that's just said, "You're sleepy mom." That's my mom. She's in Florida drawing with us. Okay, so there's my Sophia. She's finished. And now I'll start in on my rose. Gonna come in first with this heavier, thicker pen. And then I'll do my thinner one for the finer detail work afterwards. I'm gonna put the earrings first though, so that way I don't accidentally draw the ear inside of them. I'll finish the ear when I get to the earring. And then her face. the little cheek lines. And now I'm going to go in with the thinner pen. Okay, quote number 12, our final quote of the night. After this, you can start showing me your guesses. Oh, I grabbed my thick pen again. I can tell already. Oh, well. Focus on one thing at a time, I guess. Quote number 12. Have I given you any indication that I care? Have I given you any indication that I care? Now you can submit all of your guesses, 1 through 12. You can type them out. I guess you have to type them out. You can't post the picture in here. So first you type them out with them all right. Everyone just threw down their drawing supplies and is now typing like mad women or men. Rose, Blanche. Okay, Lisa, that is... Oh, wait, who's my first? Oh, my goodness. Okay, hold on. Holly's my first. Holly, you are not right. Dwayne, you are not right. Lisa, you are not right. Christine, Sophia, you are not right. Oh, Vicky, why can't I see yours? Oh, God, I can't see yours, Vicky. However you typed that, it's not letting me. Let me see if I can see it from the computer, which, of course, isn't loading. Oh, but I already know you're not right. Sorry. Vanessa... You are not right. Jennifer, no. Galen, let's see. You are not right. Sophia. Rose, this is harder than I thought it would be. I can't see that one. Sophia, Rose. Bianca, you're not right. Robin, no. Oh, goodness. I feel like... Okay, I'm going to go back. You guys keep guessing. I'm going to go back and look at them. And I'll be able to see them in order on the computer and we'll pick a winner because this is like crazy hard to keep track of. I'm like trying to go one at a time. And now I'm like afraid that I got one wrong. This is super fun, huh? This went really well. The bingo was a lot easier than verifying everybody's answers. Ba, ba, ba. Oh, wait. Somebody did have it. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I think I know the winner. Okay, it's not this one. It's not Dwayne. I think it's this one. Hold tight, guys. I think I have it. Rose. Blanche. Dorothy. 5. That's not it. You guys are like, I'm done with this. I'm not drawing with you anymore. Sophia, Rose, Blanche. Dorothy. Blanche. Blanche. Fudge. Okay, I'm going to do it at the end. You guys, I got to do it at the end. It's too much. Sorry. I'll pick a winner. Okay, I'm going to give you the answers, and you tell me if you posted first. But you have to know you posted first, or just everybody tell me who got them right. Okay, number 1. If you got it right, let me know. Okay, number 1 is Sophia. Number 2 is Rose. See, my mom has the good ideas again. Number 3 is Blanche. Number 4 is Dorothy. Number 5 is Sophia. Number 6 is Dorothy. Number 7 is Dorothy. Number 8 is Blanche. Number 9 is Blanche. Number 10 is Rose. Number 11 is Sophia. And number 12 is Dorothy. So 1 Sophia, 2 Rose, 3 Blanche, 4 Dorothy, 5 Sophia, 6 Dorothy, 7 Dorothy, 8 Blanche, 9 Blanche, 10 Rose, 11 Sophia, 12 Dorothy. There you go. Back to drawing. If you got them all right, please comment. I got them all right. I got 5 wrong. It was all fun until Stacy couldn't figure out how to pick a winner. One day I'll figure out how to make this all easier. Missed 2. Dang, missed 2. Vanessa Rule. So you had it. Let's see. So Vanessa, you had all of it? One wrong, 5 wrong. We missed the first one. Okay, it looks like Vanessa Rule is the winner. Awesome job. I'll be in touch. After the drawing, look for a message from me. Congratulations on knowing your Golden Girls quotes. Whew, that That made my blood pressure go up, I think. I was feeling stressed right there. And now I'm like over here changing the shape of eyeballs, making them different. Number 10 is Rose. And yes, thank you, Mom, for the wonderful suggestion of telling everyone the answers and then letting them let me know, because, oh boy, we would have still been here with me trying to compare answers. And sorry, Bianca, I saw your comment. You're welcome. It's fun for me too. And don't forget, I mean, I'm still here drawing away, adding in my shapes. I'm only 2 golden girls in. Doing all the outlines. Go ahead and do this pen while I have it. I know some of you leave a little early. You color by yourselves, and that's okay. I'll be here drinking. I'm not erasing anything anymore. Oh, wait, we have a big erase coming up. Maybe you should drink the entire time it takes me to erase. But if you need to go, you gotta go. These do get a little long, and really you're just listening to me gab on. But it's fun having you here. Don't forget to share your art, though, if you do leave, even if you think it's horrible. Night, Mom. Because just remember, in everything in life, oh my gosh, in everything, we are our own worst critic. Our own worst critic. We always look at what we do and think, ugh, that came out awful. And someone else looks at it and thinks, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So don't sell yourself short. Don't sell your art short. Post it to the page. Share it with the group, with the team. Your drawing family has your back. You can share it on Instagram too if you follow me there. Draw with Stacy. You can be in the picture. You can be out of the picture if you don't want to share your lovely face, or maybe you didn't shower today. Showering and getting ready is pretty much optional at this point, right? I think I only do it for this group. If I didn't have the drawing every day, I probably would not shower myself. It's the shower. I mean, I would eventually shower. Let's not be ridiculous, but I definitely wouldn't be putting myself together as much as I do. There's my little Dorothy. And again, I think you guys will be surprised once you start actually coloring them in too. They'll start to take more shape. They'll start to look a little bit more like their characters. Some of mine don't look like them at all. Again, you're just kind of capturing the essence of them. Like I've said, we all kind of have had those caricatures done at various places, and I don't know, they never really look like us. They just kind of capture some features about us, how big our eyes are. Bianca, did you leave in a fit of rage and then decide to come back? You just showed back up in the group. You got dressed for this. Nice. Maybe you got dressed up just for Golden Girls. Maybe you have your best like power suit on. Your best kind of moo outfit. Although that might be a little more Three's Company than Golden Girls. Next week, we are paired up with a winery, Grand Island, and they are doing a special, I believe, don't quote me on this yet, but it's a 2-bottle pack, a Draw with Stacy pack of 2 different bottles, and it's like 30 something. You just mentioned Draw with Stacy. And if you're here in West Sac, we're gonna get your wine to you, just like we did with our last winery pair up. And we are drawing a Delta scene. I had to go bench press Chris real fast. Oh, God, you're killing me. Oh, I didn't do this part of the eye. These little corners, I'm missing. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So watch for the information on that so you can get your wine fix. Get your code. And it's good wine. They sent a couple bottles. I've already opened one of them. It's tasty stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. And this, she has big. I gave her big pupils. I should have fired up the song, huh? With the amount of time I just wasted trying to figure out who won that contest, I should have spent it. I should have played the song during or something. So there is my Golden Girls. So I'm going to erase. Oh, there we go. Dwayne, my beautiful Vanna White of Stacy Draws, has just posted the information about Grand Island. So grab onto that. Get your wine orders in. Get your wine deal. You're welcome. Any excuse to wear the Golden Girls shirt. I busted mine out too. I'm going to start over here with Dorothy since I erased her little glasses straps. I knew I forgot something. Do those real quick. Circle, circle, circle. And I wrote something on my original drawing. I did the Stay Golden. There's a million things you could write your favorite quote on. You could write thank you for being a friend. You could put all their names underneath them. You kind of do however you like. Oh, I forgot her lashes. Sometimes I start erasing and I realize what lines I didn't put on the page. But that's okay. I'll just go back in and do them. on Friday. Friday is always my day that I by that 10 a.m. draw with the kids, I'm pretty tired by Friday. I also am not really a morning person, and I know to some 10 isn't that, it's not that early. To me it is. And it's not so much that I'm not awake. I'm awake for a while before that, but I really take my time getting up and getting together. So usually by Friday I'm tired. I'm drinking my coffee as I'm drawing. And so I was sipping my coffee on Friday, and I got to the erase part. And when I erase now, because I have this board on that I draw on, oh, that's why I lost some light. My light burnt out. I blew my eraser dust. It all gathers right here, and I blew it to the left, and it all went into my coffee. So that was exciting. Okay. Let's start coloring. So I am going to do the top part of her earring black. You can play around with whatever colors you like here. I was kind of making it really have that kind of 80s vibe. Good night, Lisa. Thanks for joining in with us. And then I'm going to do the circle part of her ears yellow. Or of her earrings, not really her ears. I'm going to give her a really bright lip. And I'll keep this part right here white. So that part where her mouth is open. I know some of you saw I got my new pencils. That's what I'm using tonight, and they are beautiful. Oh my gosh, they color like butter. And then I'm going to layer a couple different colors for her hair. I'm going to do kind of a light, like reddish brown through all of it. Just put all that color down first. And then I'll come a little darker in places, just pushing a little bit harder, coming darker into these lines, a little darker down this side. Same here, just kind of shading it a bit. And then I'm going to get a color that's a little bit darker than that and just kind of do some little lines throughout, like following the sweep of the hair. And I'm going to use this color for her brows too. So I'll come in and do those brows really dark. And also had a blue eye, but it was just a little bit smokier, less bright. So I'm going to do kind of a blue-gray in here. And now I am going to come back with my pen and I'm going to give her like a heavier line above this outside of her eye, like giving her kind of an eyeliner look. And let's get her a face color. Where are my skin tones? There they are. So I'm just going to come in with a peach, color in her ears, color her face in, and then I'll add her makeup on top. If you're working in pen, you can layer her makeup on top too, as long as the makeup color is darker than the skin tone color that you use. Still have a pretty good group here with me. Thanks, guys. Now I'm not lonely. Not just talking to myself. I'm talking to, right now, well, 87. I said that and some people left. Which, again, I get. We do these pretty late, and some people finish coloring the next day. Some people color all through the night, like Shane. He's still working on his beetles. So I'm going to kind of accent certain parts of her face. I'm going to come into her nose a little bit darker. I am going to give her a much more realistic color of blush in her cheeks. I way over blushed her. Put a little bit of rosiness on the tip of her nose. And then I'm going to come in and give her kind of a pale eyeshadow. And I did kind of a purple color. And with these pencils, I can kind of put this color down and then take the skin tone color again and kind of shade it in. Just kind of blend it. And there she is. I'll zoom in on her. And on to the next. So with Dorothy, I am going to do grays in her hair, but I'm going to start with a much darker one. And I'm just going to kind of come in all along the edge here. down into this like curved part. So it's almost like I'm edging to color it all in. And then I'm just going to kind of do hairs up, different lengths. Some will come up high. I'm just kind of giving her that like darker root. She really had that kind of salt and pepper, a little more salt and pepper thing going on. So just putting a little bit of that in. My phone gave me a little reconnection error. Okay, I'll zoom here in just a second. Zooming on her hair. Is that what you want me to zoom on? So see, I'm just kind of coming in darker along the base, along the kind of root line. With the darker gray. And then I'll get a lighter gray and I'll come in and color all the rest. And I might go back in with a little more dark, but we'll see how it looks once I get it all on here. And I'll zoom in again once I get all her hair colored in. This gray shade. I can do a couple darker lines just with that. Kind of blending it a bit. Just like that. That just gives it a little more depth. Blending this out. And I'm going to go back to that dark gray and I'm going to put that in her eyebrows. A couple more lines of it up in here. Right here on the top. There we go. That works. And a darker brown for her eyes. That is purple, not brown. Oh, there we go. There's the browns. And her eyes will look just really dark. Like that. And then for her lip, I kind of did a deeper, like orangish color, like almost a terracotta. If I was being fancy with the name, I could look and see what this says. Oh gosh, I can't even read it. It's too small, sorry. Let's just pretend it said terracotta and I went, oh, look at that. It is terracotta. And I'm gonna give her purple earrings. And now I'll go in and color. Oh man, I'm just losing all my light tonight. Now I'll come in and color her skin tone, which this kind of is a weird color, but I can fix it up once I add blush and all that. Oh, it doesn't look that bad. And you know, if you don't have a bunch of skin tone colors, just use the same one for all of them. If you don't have skin tone colors at all, you could also just keep the paper white. It's not a big deal. With my private drawing earlier tonight, a lot of people didn't have skin tone, so they just left it white. Now I'm going to put, since her nose, I just kind of did this little bit here, I'm going to kind of do a deeper line on each side, just in that same skin color. Darken in her actual nose a little bit. These cheek lines. You can even darken in the center of the ear a little. And then I'll give her also a blush. Let's do a different shade. Let's try this. Kind of a purple. Well, that's definitely coming through really purple. Go back to the pink. Give her some blush. And going to do a light kind of beige for a little bit of eyeshadow for her as well. And there we go. And now I want super blue eyes here. So I'm going to come in with a really bright blue. And again, we kind of over exaggerated her eyes so she has a big space to color in. Oh, pencil breaking? What the heck? What's going on there? There we go. My light is burnt out, so on your guys' end, it's coming through much darker than it looks on my end. And I'm going to come in with some blonde hair. Going to lightly shade this in. I'll probably put another color on top of it and do like a little deeper color in her eyebrows. Again, just kind of playing with her youthfulness and kind of her, you know, she really did play that kind of dumb blonde, that stereotypical dumb blonde that a lot of the sitcoms liked to have. Three's Company had it. Friends had it. You have a character who's kind of ditzy and, well, let's make them blondes. I'm going to come in with a little bit deeper color. Just kind of pick up. So that light color just kind of shows through a bit. I bet the hair looks a little bit more golden. That first color was a little bit neon. So kind of learning the pencils. And I'm going to definitely use this color for the brows. It's nice to see we had some new FaceTimer or first timers. For the first timers, were you guys invited here by a friend? Did you just happen to see it somewhere? How did you end up finding this? If you hadn't done one of these before, I'm always curious. I think most of the time you guys are invited by a friend who's doing it or who has done it in the past. By a friend. All right, that works okay. I'm going to leave the earrings white so they just have that kind of pearl earring look. You were invited by a group. And let me get a pale peach. I'm going to start with for the face. I'm going to give her a pink lip. I didn't put that in yet, but I'll go back and do the lip. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us. It's really fun. I mean, I try to switch the theme up enough. Next week will be, Delta, like river themed. So for those who like to do, more backgrounds or more scenery, things like that, we'll do that next time. I think we're going to do a boat in next week's. And then I like to throw these kind of fun pop culture ones in here and there. They're kind of fun to do. I think for me, the Bob Ross was still by far my favorite. That night was just great. A really fun night. I'm just shading a little darker above the eyebrows. And then I'm going to come in and put a lot of like rosy into her face. Into that cheek area on the nose. I'm even going to come kind of under the chin and do it a little bit up in the forehead. Just to kind of give her that rosy look. Rose should look rosy. And I'm going to get another pink and give her a little bit of pink too above her eyes. She has more of a pink shadow. Put a little bit of that in her face too. And then one last pink, darker, and put that into her lips. There we go. And then last but not least, we have Sophia. Her glasses were actually more of a pale pink. They were like a clear pink, like a clear acrylic with a pink tint. So I'm going to color my frames a really light pale pink. And she also had blue eyes. Put some blue in her eyes. And kind of like Dorothy, I'm going to do a little bit more of a beigey skin tone. I'm not going to put any makeup on her like I did with the others. And then her hair is, her hair was real white. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of a really light gray into it just because everyone's hair has some kind of dimension to it. I'm going to go right over her lip with this same color, but then I'm going to come in darker and put her lip darker, her little cheek marks darker, the little lines on her head, the little wrinkles on the side of her eyes, even this little line, this little above her eye. And now with a very light gray, I'm going to color her brows in, which you won't even see on this camera because it's going to just not even show up. And then I'm going to put a little bit of gray into her hair, just kind of in a swirly motion, just to show that kind of curl texture. And I'm actually going to go back over it with white. I don't always do white when it's in pencil, but these pencils are, like I said, they're real smooth. So you actually do see the white. It brightens it up and it kind of blends in that gray that I put down. So it really makes the white pop, which again, I'm seeing more than you are. The camera doesn't do it justice on the video. And then lastly, I'm just going to come into her little beads and just do little tiny gold. And I'm almost just putting a line because it's such a small space. You're not really going to see it. And I will add just a tiny bit of like a peach into her cheeks. So not so much a rosy, it's just more of like a peachy tone. Put a little bit of on her lips. Up here in her forehead. And come back over here and blend this in a little better. And there are my golden girls. Now, for the writing, if you're gonna do the writing, you know, you kind of just plan out what it is you want to say. Again, you can put all of their names underneath their faces. You could write the golden girls, stay golden, thank you for being a friend. There's all kinds of things you can do there. And there's really no like rhyme or reason to font. I just kind of try to play with shapes, but usually I'll try to stay with a consistent font at least. So if I'm doing, you know, all capital letters, they'll stay all capitals. So I'm just going to I'm going to keep it with this stay golden. And just do these oversized letters. And I am putting these in pencil first, but, you know, I'm sure there is a way to like map out letters so you make sure that you have the space to fit all of your letters in. I just go for it. I don't know. I just go for it. And if it doesn't fit, I start it over, because sometimes I think that, you know, I don't know, the way I draw, I like to try to learn perspective, and I like to try to learn my space and how things might fit in a space. And if I get too hung up on measuring and really, you know, like mapping and planning it out, it ends up a disaster. I tend to do better when I just start throwing them down on the page. So sometimes I will give myself like a line with a ruler on the top and a line, well, this would be the top, and a line on the bottom. And I'll do that because I want them to be the same size. And again, sometimes you get all like crazy with your sizes. I'm going to put that L, kind of change that shape up. So that is one thing I will do. I will kind of do a guideline to stay between, much like we did in school when we like learned to write. You know, you had those like lines that you stayed on. And that way you don't do like what mine did. It kind of started to go up, but her head is also lower. So it might not be that so much as it's just where her head is positioned on the paper, because I made her look smaller, so I dropped her down. But I'm a little cramped over there, but that's all right. Again, I kind of go for it. And then sometimes I'll do it and I'll just end up bumping all of them over a little bit once I put them in pen, just to make them fit more. But if you really struggle with consistency or composition, then put some guidelines down. Put a line, you know, like I said, a line on the top and a line on the bottom that you make sure you stay between. That'll help you out. I'm going to shift this O So already you're going to see that it's going to change it a little bit, make it all come to a little bit to the left. And again, thank you again so much. There's still a bunch of you here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for drawing with me. Thanks for letting your kids draw with me, supporting me through the week. Thank you for all of your donations and your tips. That's what helped me, buy the new pens and get new art supplies. I have that's what I bought the board with. I have a big light coming this week, so hopefully I can light things up better. All of that stuff comes from the tips and the donations that you guys send to me. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm using these supplies and all this stuff every single day, so it's nice to have your support and, helps me get new supplies and replenish my paper when I run out and all of those little things. It's really very kind and very nice. I can't even put in words how much I appreciate all that. So there is my Golden Girls drawing. Let's back it up so you can try and see the whole thing. Stay golden. We did our first, that was a lot of face work. Lots of face work. So let me flip you guys around a bit. You might still be coloring. So thank you again so much. Like I said, it's always nice. This is a nice break, I think, for everybody. Even when your kids join you, it's just a really nice break. Because everybody's focused and everybody's quiet and, you're not watching social media or watching the news or watching TV, and you're creating. And I just think when you're creating and when you're crafting, you're using such a different part of your brain, and it just flicks all that other stuff off, and it just gives you a chance to like people talk about meditation, and I can sit and try and meditate. I can't do it. I can't shut my brain off. But when I'm drawing, I can sit and my brain just clicks into a different mode, and I'm not thinking about anything. My brain is clear. I'm just focused on what I'm drawing. So I think it's really important. I'm glad you guys do it. Even if you struggle, even if you think that your drawings are awful, please share them. I love seeing them. You can post them directly to the group. You can post them in the Golden Girls album. You can share them with me on Instagram at Draw with Stacy. And I'll be back on Monday at 10 a.m. And to my winner, I think her name was Vanessa, right? Vanessa, I'll be in touch with you after this is over. So thank you very much. I love you guys. Have a good night. Have a good Sunday. Get your rest on. And you're welcome.